Tammy? Well, I started Democrats for McCain because I knew who Obama was. I knew what he would do to the country. I feel like Cassandra and Troy because I warned people about what was going to happen, and everything I've said has come true so far. So I went from being, popular here in Chicago and Boys Town for running Hillary efforts, and, gays have always supported Hillary. And even though some supported Obama, like I was, very much encouraged to do Hillary stuff here, but the day that I started Democrats for McCain, I became a pariah.
Oh, dear.
And I'd walk in different places, and I would totally wear my, Democrats for McCain gear, my shirts, my hats, whatever, recruiting volunteers the same way that I always did for Hillary, but I got it in an instant, diametrically opposed reaction to that, where they just became brutal. I got taken off all the guest lists for everything. My friends and I stopped being invited to all the different events we always used to go to.
Yeah,
but
I know
what's really funny
like.
is now, 2 years hence, a year and a half into the golden age of hope and change, we're back on the guest list.
See, that was going to be my question, is that, and we're not the type of people to do a "we told you so," but I think that what has really encouraged me is the fact that people who are so out of their minds for Obama have had the courage to say, wait a minute, and to come back a little bit. So you're finding that you're being re-embraced. That's right?
That's correct. Like here in Boys Town, one of the big things is all the bars and all the clubs have anniversary parties, okay?
Sure.
And it's like the coveted tickets. It's like our Oscars here, where everyone will come out because it's like 3 hours of free food and drinks, you know what I mean?
Of course.
So to get invited to that is usually a pretty big deal. And once again, we're all on the guest list again for this new round of the anniversary parties. And the owners of these places and all the people who give in the gay community and the big fundraisers and everything, they have really backed away from the Obama Kool-Aid, so they're no longer sipping that. What they say instead is they just say, he tries, or they're trying to get things done.
Oh, God.
So they're making those kind of excuses. And,
yeah.
And they'll say things like, well, something needed to be done about health care, and yeah, the bill's not perfect. And then you press them and you ask them, well, have you ever read the bill? Do you know what that's going to entail? And of course they don't know and they haven't read it, but they said, well, something has to be done, and hem and the haw. But they all still believe, Tammy, that he's going to win re-election in 2012. They have no doubt of that. They even say that it'll be a blowout re-election. But what's funny is that's them talking from that church of liberalism, where these are people that hate religion and they hate Christianity and they're anti-Israel and like they hate religion in that sense, but they've transferred all of that religious need to believe in something into liberalism, into Obama as their new God.
That's right. And so you can't really
stray. Their new God can't fail.
Yeah, that's it. And this is one of the problems, and then that you get really crushed when things happen and you consider it bad things, because you're not really rooted in reality. And it doesn't mean being rooted in reality doesn't mean you have to like it. But being honest about your scenario, whether it's about your personal health, whether it's about your job situation, or whether it's about politics, is the only way you're going to be able to make decisions that are best for you, that are a reflection of what's really going to happen. And so no matter where you are on the spectrum, being attached into reality is important. Well, this is great. So people who are listening, and I think a lot of my listeners, we're very independent conservative, have had a lot of variety of experiences. When they go to hillbuzz.org, clearly they can support you there. Do you have a list? Can people sign up, or is it really, can they just go to you've got an RSS feed and stuff there, but what can people do to help what you guys are trying to do? And you're trying to set up some radio as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd love to set up a radio thing. Like, the thing that's funny is I'm so not a tech person at all. So as I said earlier, it was a surprise for us to end up as bloggers and to end up running a site. But I am working to try to improve that and to get the mailing list and to start doing more radio stuff. But people seem to really enjoy it. I love doing these guest appearances like this, so I'm very grateful for you for the opportunity today. I'd like to do a little thing of our own as well. But, yeah, keep visiting us every single day. I guess you could sign up for the RSS feed and, chime in. We have our email at hillbuzz@gmail.com, so if you have any ideas for us going forward, I'd love to hear from you.
Well, I'm sure all of us are going to jump into that now. But one of the questions, a lot of people, of course, as you know, and we can. I'd like to do this again and get updates from you on occasion. There's a lot of hesitation about Hillary, as you can imagine, with a large part of my audience. There's even a large hesitation about Sarah Palin. You know, a lot of people are finding their footing about who they're liking for 2012. All right, now you've got some Palin a post there. You seem to like Sarah Palin. I take it, though, that if it was between Hillary and Sarah, what would you do, Kevin?
You know, if you had asked me this a while ago, I would have always said I'd default to Hillary because, you know, I've supported her for my entire adult life, and I think she'd make an excellent president. But I would have to know that she would refute what the Democrat Party is doing because I don't think, Tammy, I could ever vote for a Democrat again the way that they've conducted themselves.
Yeah,
especially that vote on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
On Christmas Eve, all Democrats in the Senate voted for a bill they had not read, that they did not understand the ramifications of, and that the Congressional Budget Office had been asking for more time to decide the financial impact of, but they rammed it through anyway. So I just don't trust this party in power anymore. So for Hillary to run again, she would need to convince us that she's going to not only repeal everything Obama has done, but she's going to drive out all these lunatics, too.
You know,
I don't know if she would do that.
Yeah, that is, I'll tell you, so you're being open-minded about it, and I think that's smart, and I think that we still need to know more about Sarah Palin, but obviously, for a lot of people, Sarah Palin looks to be the bright light at this point. Within this framework. And I really want to thank you for your honesty and your open-mindedness. The next few years are going to be fabulous, I must say. And gosh, I haven't been to Chicago in ages, but if I get over there, if you get into Los Angeles, we need to hook up.
We totally do, and I am a big supporter of Sarah Palin. So, like I said, she's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's right.
I think she's the one, Tammy, that's going to come to Washington, and she's going to drive a stake through the DNC, which needed to be done.
Yeah, allowing, hopefully, Kevin, women like Hillary and others who, if they had an opportunity, a lot of people, look to her past and say she's, an Alinsky supporter and all of that. But I'll tell you something, the world's going to change. People are going to rethink what their role is. And your work and regular people stepping forward, demanding that change is what makes a difference. Kevin, with Hillbuzz, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it, my dear.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tammy.
Yeah, great job. You can learn more about Kevin and what he's doing and all of their work at hillbuzz.org. You see, for all of you who are conservatives and Republicans, all of you who are Tea Partiers or independent conservatives, all the Obama administration needs to do and all the Democrat Party needs to do, if they don't want to look at the Massachusetts election of Scott Brown, is to listen to a guy from Boys Town in Chicago who for all his life was a Hillary supporter and was appalled by what transpired during the election. That's all they need to look at. And it gives you a gauge of why November is going to be a cataclysm. That's why. So another blog for you to make sure you stay in touch with. Very, very important. Mm-hmm.